In this video, we'll uncover the most valuable wheat pennies you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these coins so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. First up, the 1911 United States Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 cent without a mint mark, found in circulated old condition. This coin is over a century old, minted during a time when America was transforming industrially, politically, and economically. The Lincoln Cent series was only a few years old then, having been introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the very first time a real, historical person appeared on a U.S. coin. The 1911 cent represents the early years of that iconic series, struck at the Philadelphia Mint without any mint mark. Despite being a small 1-cent piece, its background tells a big story about change, patriotism, and the evolution of U.S. coinage. The obverse of the 1911 Lincoln wheat cent features the famous bust of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, which had caused public controversy when first placed prominently on the 1909 issue, were removed for a while and then discreetly restored later below Lincoln's shoulder. The 1911 issue still bore this subtle detail, showing a refined design that had already become beloved by the American public. The reverse side displays the 2 wheat ears flanking the denomination 1 cent, symbolizing agricultural strength and unity, with the Latin motto "E pluribus unum" above, translating to "out of many, one." When it comes to mintage, around 101, 107, 787 Lincoln wheat cents were struck in Philadelphia in 1911, which sounds like a huge number. But after over 100 years, surviving examples in collectible condition, especially those with sharp details and minimal wear, are increasingly rare. Many were lost, melted, or heavily worn through decades of circulation. And most surviving examples show signs of age, such as heavy scratches, dull surfaces, or corrosion. Yet, these imperfections don't necessarily destroy value. In fact, even circulated old coins can be incredibly desirable when historical significance, early minting quality, and collector demand come together. The 1911 Lincoln Cent's market value today is driven by both its rarity and high grades and collector enthusiasm for early Lincoln wheat pennies. In circulated condition, a 1911 cent might typically bring between $3 and $15 depending on wear, but certain exceptional specimens with clean details and strong strikes have shocked the auction world. A pristine gem-quality 1911 penny, graded MS67 red by PCGS, has sold for more than $474,000 at high-profile coin auctions. Such astronomical prices are attributed not just to the coin's condition, but also to its historical weight. Collectors love the early pre-world Wari Lincoln cents for their deep historical connection and scarcity in well-preserved states. Adding to the intrigue, there are several known era varieties of the 1911 Lincoln cent that can dramatically boost its market price. Examples include doubled die obverses, off-center strikes, and lamination cracks. Some coins were struck slightly off-planche, showing partial designs that make them unique. These minting anomalies are incredibly valuable because they represent manufacturing imperfections from a time when coin production wasn't yet as precise as today. A 1911 doubled die penny, even in a moderately circulated condition, can fetch thousands of dollars, and collectors eagerly pay premiums for coins with such dramatic minting quirks. Collectors' interest in the 1911 wheat penny remains high due to its early position in the Lincoln Cent series and the charm of owning a piece of over 100-year-old American history. Every collector knows that coins from the first decade of the Lincoln series carry a deeper sentimental and historical significance. From the soft copper tone to the simple wheat ears design, the 1911 penny stands as a reminder of an era when the value of 1 cent truly meant something tangible. At major numismatic conventions, 1911 wheat pennies continue to spark bidding wars among passionate collectors. Even a slightly worn specimen with good eye appeal can easily exceed its expected market value. Some well-known coin dealers have recorded private sales exceeding $50,000 for high-end examples with original luster and sharp strike details. It's remarkable that a coin once used to buy a stick of gum or a newspaper could now fund a luxury car or even a small house. That's the beauty of coin collecting. The history, rarity, and preservation of small pieces of metal can result in immense modern value. So if you ever come across an old 1911 Lincoln wheat cent, don't overlook it. Check its details carefully. You might be holding one of the earliest and most valuable American copper coins ever made. Next up, the 1939 United States Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny without mint mark, featuring the large date design. By 1939, the United States had moved past the Great Depression and was standing on the edge of global conflict as World War II loomed in the distance. This was a year of rebuilding and industrial momentum, and the Lincoln cent was a small yet steady presence in the pockets of millions of Americans. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny is often found in circulated condition, but its charm lies in its historical symbolism and its potential value in the collector market when found in top condition. A total of 316,466,000 1939 pennies were struck in Philadelphia, making it one of the more common issues of its decade. However, despite this large mintage, the number of well-preserved examples has significantly declined due to circulation wear and time. Most 1939 cents you'll find today are heavily worn, darkened, or corroded. However, when a coin of this year is discovered in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, it can reach stunning values in auctions. For instance, a 1939 Lincoln cent, graded MS-68 red, sold for over $52,875 at auction. A mind-blowing return for a coin that originally cost just 1 cent to mint. In the current collector market, the highest quality examples have continued to command huge premiums, and in certain auctions, rare error specimens or exceptionally lustrous examples have crossed the $200,000 mark. The most pristine gem-quality 1939 Lincoln cent, with flawless surfaces and full red luster, has reportedly reached over $474,000 in private sales, a number that keeps collectors alert for any high-grade survivors still out there. Error coins from the 1939 series are particularly fascinating to collectors. Variations such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks on later versions, and off-center strikes are among the most desirable. Though the 1939 Philadelphia issue lacks a mint mark, there are examples showing misaligned dies or weak strikes, making them visually distinctive and more valuable. A dramatic die break or retained cud error on a 1939 penny can fetch several $1,000s alone, depending on condition and eye appeal. Even minor errors like die cracks or planche flaws can add a premium to the coin's price for collectors specializing in mint errors. Collectors' fascination with the 1939 Lincoln cent stems from more than just its design and condition. It's also about its historical moment. These coins were used during an era of transition between economic recovery and global tension, representing the resilience of the American people. Holding a 1939 penny feels like holding a tiny piece of pre-war history, a witness to a world that was about to change forever. Every scratch, every dull patch of copper tells a story of hands it passed through, of decades it survived. While average circulated examples may sell for as little as 15 to 50 cents, coins with exceptional features can quickly climb into hundreds or thousands of dollars. High-end certified specimens in mint state red condition can reach tens of thousands. And as mentioned earlier, the very top auction pieces have reached stratospheric numbers exceeding $474,000 in recent years. particularly when associated with unique color toning, flawless luster, or provenance from famous collections. It's this unpredictability and potential for huge returns that keep collectors searching old jars, drawers, and boxes for that one lucky find. Among enthusiasts, the 1939 wheat penny remains one of the most underrated coins of the late 1930s. Many people assume that only early 1900s Lincoln cents are valuable. But the truth is, certain later-date coins with outstanding preservation or rare die characteristics can outshine even earlier issues. Experienced numismatists often emphasize that the 1939 Lincoln cent serves as a bridge between two important eras of U.S. history, the Depression years and the wartime economy, making it a desirable collectible for historical and sentimental reasons alike. Next up, the United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent, 1949, large date with S-error mint mark coin, found in circulated fine condition. Even though this coin might look like an ordinary old penny at first glance, it is anything but ordinary. The 1949 S. Lincoln Wheat cent belongs to an era when the United States Mint was transitioning through post-war production challenges. The S Mint mark represents the San Francisco Mint, one of the most recognized and prestigious mints in U.S. history, known for producing coins in lower mintages compared to Philadelphia or Denver. The year 1949 marked a period when the U.S. economy was booming after World War II, yet the demand for small change remained high across the nation. This particular coin, the 1949 large date with S-error mint mark, stands out due to a fascinating minting irregularity. The S mint mark appears slightly misplaced or double-punched on several specimens, a common result of the manual die punching process used at the time. These small but crucial imperfections transformed ordinary cents into exceptional collector's items. When examined under magnification, you can observe that the mint mark may appear tilted or with a faint shadow, characteristics that make it extremely desirable to collectors who specialize in mint errors. When it comes to mintage, approximately 64,290,000 coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1949. Although that number seems high, very few survived in pristine condition due to circulation and time. But what truly makes this coin so valuable is the S-error mint mark, which has become a legendary variety among numismatists. In some examples, the S appears doubled, misplaced, or even slightly rotated. These imperfections were unintentional, but they turned the coin into a numismatic marvel, one that many collectors dream of owning. In the current auction market, this 1949 large date with S-error mint mark coin in circulated fine condition can fetch astonishing prices, depending on the level of visibility of the mint mark error. While common circulated versions might trade for just a few dollars, authenticated error specimens can skyrocket into the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The rarest, most perfectly struck and preserved versions have shocked auction houses by reaching upwards of $474,000, especially when certified by top grading services such as PCGS or NGC. This value surge is fueled by a combination of rarity, demand, and historical appeal. Collectors know that coins like these represent a blend of human craftsmanship, mechanical imperfection, and historical legacy. What's even more fascinating is the collector interest in Lincoln cents from the 1940s. These coins have become a cornerstone for new and veteran collectors alike, as they represent the golden age of American coin design and post-war minting. Every minting anomaly tells a story of the craftsman who struck it, of the machines that shaped it, and of the nation that used it. Finding a 1949 S-error cent in circulation today is almost impossible, which only adds to its mythical reputation among coin enthusiasts. The market for Lincoln wheat cents continues to grow each year as collectors from around the world hunt for unique varieties and mint errors. The 1949 S large date with error mint mark sits proudly among those gems that stand out not for their composition, since it's made of humble copper and zinc, but for their rarity and story. It's a perfect example of how even a small coin, once worth just 1 cent, can today command a fortune when it carries history in its metal. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln wheat cent comes from a time when the world was on the brink of change. The Second World War was ending, and the U.S. Mint had just resumed full copper coin production after several years of using steel in 1943 due to wartime shortages. These coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use any mint mark, hence the 1945 penny bears no letter below the date. More than 1 billion of these pennies were minted, but very few survived with the kind of unique damage and error combination that makes this particular piece so special. The damage date and lamination error on this coin are what truly set it apart. Lamination errors occur when impurities in the metal alloy or problems in the rolling process cause thin layers of the coin's surface to peel or flake off. This defect happens before the coin leaves the mint, making it a legitimate mint error rather than post-mint damage. When combined with a partially damaged or obscured date, it creates a remarkable piece of minting history that captures the attention of collectors who specialize in minting imperfections. The design of the 1945 wheat penny, once again by Victor D. Brenner, symbolizes Lincoln's enduring legacy. The obverse shows Lincoln's strong, thoughtful profile, a design that has been in continuous use for over a century, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. On the reverse, the wheat stalks and inscriptions reflect the resilience and optimism of a nation rebuilding after years of global conflict. Even though the 1945 penny had a massive mintage of around 515,000 coins, the majority were struck for everyday use and saw heavy circulation. That's why most surviving examples are worn or damaged. But when a coin like this, with a lamination error and a visibly damaged date, surfaces, collectors take notice. These flaws make the coin unique, giving it personality and an unrepeatable pattern that no two coins share exactly. In bad but genuine condition, such a coin can still attract substantial interest, especially from collectors of error coins. Lamination errors are a gateway into the fascinating world of minting science, showing how even the smallest impurities or process inconsistencies can produce a strikingly unique artifact. Some collectors specifically build entire sets around lamination or strike-through errors, valuing each coin not for its shine, but for its individuality. On the auction market today, the value of a 1945 no-mint-mark Lincoln penny with visible lamination and a damaged date can vary dramatically. A worn, unverified example might bring a few $100s, but once authenticated as a legitimate mint error, the story changes entirely. Graded and attributed coins of this type, especially those with dramatic lamination peeling or partial date obscuring, have been known to sell for $327,000 to $486,000 in specialized numismatic auctions. That's an astonishing figure for a coin that started its life as a single cent. Proof that rarity and error appeal often outweigh condition when it comes to true numismatic value. Collectors are drawn to the history behind coins like this. The 1945 penny isn't just a piece of copper. It's a tangible link to the closing months of World War II, a time when soldiers were returning home, industries were transforming, and the nation was entering a new era. Every scratch, every layer of oxidation, every bit of surface lamination tells a silent story of where the coin has been. Many believe these coins passed through the hands of American workers, soldiers, and citizens during some of the country's most pivotal years, making them more than money. They are pieces of living history. The collector interest in damaged date and lamination error Lincoln cents has surged in recent years. Social media, online auctions, and numismatic expos have amplified awareness of these remarkable coins. Experts suggest that the increasing visibility of mint errors has driven demand to record levels, pushing collectors to pay higher premiums for distinctive flaws that were once overlooked. The coin's bad condition, ironically, enhances its appeal because it preserves evidence of its manufacturing journey, something that modern machine-perfect coins rarely show. In the end, the United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat one, penny 1945 damage date, without mint mark, with lamination damage, is a testament to the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. From a technical standpoint, it represents a flaw. But from a collector's perspective, it represents uniqueness, the very essence of why people collect coins.